South Asia, a region where time dances between the ancient and the eternal. From snow-capped mountains to sunlit beaches, from emerald tea gardens to golden deserts, this corner of the world is a living mosaic of color, culture, and nature. In the heart of Asia lies a land of breathtaking beauty and untold stories. South Asia is home to 8 countries, each with its own rhythm, voice, and soul. Here, majestic peaks pierce the skies in the north, while tropical coasts whisper tales of the oceans in the south. Sacred rivers, ancient temples, royal palaces, and bustling markets shape the landscape, while smiles and traditions bind the people. The spirit of South Asia is found not just in its landmarks, but in the quiet moments, the morning mist over rice fields, the scent of spices in the breeze, the chants echoing through Himalayan valleys, and the festivals that set entire cities aglow with light and sound. From the untouched serenity of hidden lakes to the vibrant chaos of age-old cities, this region reveals a beauty that goes far beyond the surface. It is a place where nature and culture are deeply entwined, where history breathes through ruins and modern life pulses with age-old rhythms. Scattered like pearls across the vast blue of the Indian Ocean, the Maldives Atolls are a world unlike any other. Made up of over 1,000 tiny islands and coral reefs, this island nation is a delicate masterpiece shaped by water, wind, and time. Each atoll in the Maldives is a ring-shaped coral formation surrounding a calm central lagoon. The waters here are crystal clear, shifting from soft turquoise to deep sapphire, revealing a vibrant underwater world that is home to countless species of fish, sea turtles, manta rays, and gentle whale sharks. Above the waves, palm-fringed islands rise like dreams. Many are untouched, with nothing but soft white sand, tropical flowers, and the sound of the ocean. Others are home to small fishing villages, where life moves slowly and traditions are carried forward through generations. The Maldives are more than just a destination for travelers. These islands are a living example of nature's balance. Coral reefs protect the land from tides and storms. Seagrass beds filter the water. Mangroves guard the coast. Everything is connected. Everything has a role. Here, days begin with golden sunrises and end with skies painted in every shade of pink and orange. The Himalayas, a timeless realm where the earth rises to meet the heavens. Stretching across the northern borders of South Asia, these mountains form the highest range on Earth, a natural wall that touches the sky and holds centuries of legend, silence, and spirit. Snow-covered peaks tower above the clouds, their jagged outlines etched in white against the blue. Beneath them lie deep valleys, dense forests, ancient glaciers and rivers born from ice. The air is thin here, but pure, filled with the scent of pine, the sound of wind, and the rhythm of prayer flags fluttering in the breeze. The Himalayas are not just a place, they are a presence, sacred, vast, and alive. For millions of people, these mountains are both protector and provider. Small villages cling to steep slopes, and life flows slowly, guided by the seasons and shaped by tradition. Temples and monasteries sit quietly among the peaks, holding within their walls chants and rituals passed down for centuries. Yaks roam freely through alpine meadows, shepherds move with the light, and travelers walk paths once taken by monks, traders, and pilgrims. In the far northern reaches of India lies a land unlike any other, Leh-Ladakh, a high-altitude desert, framed by the Himalayas and the Karakoram, is a place where silence speaks louder than words, and the landscape feels closer to the sky than the earth. Here, mountains rise in shades of brown, gold, and rust. Valleys stretch wide and empty, broken only by winding rivers and ancient trails. The air is dry and pure, and the sun casts sharp shadows across rocky cliffs and endless plains. Ladakh is a land of extremes: cold nights, blazing days, barren land, and flowing water. Yet life thrives. Small monasteries perch on cliffs like watchful guardians. Prayer flags flutter in the wind, carrying whispers of peace into the sky. In quiet villages, people live in harmony with the land, shaped by the rhythm of nature and the strength of tradition. Leh, the capital, stands as a gateway, a town of narrow lanes, whitewashed homes, and a peaceful stillness that invites reflection. Nearby, ancient palaces and Buddhist stupas offer windows into a deep spiritual heritage that stretches back centuries. Clinging to a cliffside high above the Ziro Valley in Bhutan, the Tiger's Nest Monastery seems almost suspended in the sky. Wrapped in clouds and mystery, it stands as one of the most sacred and awe-inspiring sights in the Himalayan world. Known locally as Paro Taktang, this monastery is built on a sheer rock face, more than 2,000 feet above the valley floor. The journey to reach it is not easy. It begins with a winding forest path, shaded by pines and draped in colorful prayer flags. As the trail rises, the air grows still, and the silence of the mountains begins to speak. According to legend, this place was chosen by a great Buddhist master who arrived riding a flying tigress. He meditated in a cave here, and the site became a beacon of spiritual power and peace. Today, that sacred cave still forms the heart of the monastery. The architecture is delicate, yet strong. White walls, golden roofs, wooden balconies, all rising boldly from the rock. From a distance, it looks like a dream carved into the mountain. Up close, it is a place of deep devotion, quiet prayers, and soft footsteps on stone. Tucked away in the central highlands of Sri Lanka, the town of Ella is a quiet jewel surrounded by lush greenery, misty hills, and the timeless rhythm of nature. Here, time seems to slow down, and the land opens its heart to those who wander its paths. Ella is embraced by rolling tea plantations, dense forests, and dramatic cliffs that rise gently into the sky. The air is fresh and cool, scented with wild flowers, wet earth, and the distant hum of life among the leaves. One of Ella's most iconic sights is the Nine Arches Bridge, a graceful curve of stone nestled in a jungle valley. As old trains pass slowly over it, steam rising into the air, it feels as if the past and present have blended into one quiet, perfect moment. The landscape invites exploration. A hike up Little Adams Peak rewards, with sweeping views of emerald hills and golden light. Ella Rock stands taller, its paths winding through eucalyptus groves and silent stretches of wild land. But Ella is not only about scenery, it is also about stillness. Gentle waterfalls tumble down rocky slopes. Monkeys swing through trees at sunrise. Villagers greet strangers with warm smiles and simple kindness. In the far north of Pakistan, where the great mountain ranges of the Himalayas, the Karakoram and the Hindu Kush meet, lies a valley of astonishing beauty, Hunza. Cradled by peaks that pierce the sky and rivers that carve through stone, Hunza is a hidden paradise shaped by time, tradition, and the elements. The valley is surrounded by giants, towering mountains, with names that echo through mountaineering history. Their snow-covered summits shimmer in the morning light, standing like guardians over the villages below. Hunza is a land of contrast and color. Stone houses cling to steep slopes, terraced fields spill down hillsides, and fruit trees bloom with soft white flowers in spring. In summer, apricots dry under the sun, and in autumn, the entire valley glows with golden leaves against a deep blue sky. The Hunza River flows steadily through the valley, bringing life to every corner it touches. Bridges stretch across the water like threads of connection, linking people, history, and landscape. The culture here is rich and rooted. Hospitality is sacred. Stories are passed from one generation to the next. The people of Hunza are known for their warmth, wisdom, and quiet strength. In the southern state of Kerala, where the land meets the Arabian Sea, a hidden world of still water and quiet beauty stretches for miles. These are the Kerala Backwaters, a delicate network of canals, rivers, lakes, and lagoons that weave through villages, rice fields, and coconut groves. Life here moves gently, like the slow drift of a wooden houseboat. The water is calm, reflecting the sky, the trees, and the rhythm of daily life. Along the banks, children wave from narrow paths, fishermen cast their nets with practiced grace, and birds glide low above the surface, chasing the wind. The backwaters are not one place, but many, each with its own charm. In Aleppi, often called the Venice of the East, houseboats glide through wide lakes and narrow channels, offering a window into a way of life untouched by hurry. In Karakoram, the stillness deepens, and every sunrise brings the call of birds from nearby sanctuaries. Palm trees lean gently over the water. Lotus flowers bloom in hidden corners. The air is warm and heavy with the scent of spice and wet earth. Every sound, a splash, a paddle, a song from a distant temple blends into a peaceful harmony. Rising out of the central plains of Sri Lanka, Sigiriya is a monument of stone, art, and ambition. This ancient rock fortress, perched high above the forest, stands as one of the greatest architectural and cultural wonders of South Asia, a place where nature and human vision met in breathtaking harmony. The rock itself is massive, a giant column of reddish stone that soars above the green landscape. From a distance, it looks like an island frozen in time. Up close, it tells a story of kings, kingdoms, dreams, and secrets. Long ago, a royal palace was built here, carved directly into the rock. At its base, beautiful water gardens stretch in perfect symmetry. As the climb begins, frescoes appear on sheltered rock faces, graceful figures painted with delicate color and mystery, their meaning still debated today. Higher up, the mirror wall once shone so brightly that visitors could see their reflections in it. Today, it holds inscriptions, messages left by travelers from centuries past. Halfway up, a massive gateway shaped like a lion once guarded the entrance. Though only the paws remain, they hint at the grandeur of what once stood here. In the far reaches of northern Pakistan, where the great mountains stretch toward the heavens, lies a valley of extraordinary peace and power, Skardu. Surrounded by some of the tallest peaks on Earth, this land feels like the meeting place of sky, stone, and soul. Skardu rests quietly between towering ranges where the Karakoram meets the Himalayas. Snow-capped giants form a protective circle around the valley, their reflections mirrored in still lakes and winding rivers. The air is crisp, the silence deep, and the horizon always near. This land is shaped by contrast. Dry deserts of soft sand lie beside emerald rivers, and jagged mountains give way to lush meadows. The Indus River flows steadily through the valley, carrying with it the stories of ancient civilizations and timeless landscapes. Skardu is more than scenery. It is a home, a heritage. Small villages with stone homes and terraced fields cling to the slopes, where life moves with the rhythm of nature. Locals offer quiet warmth, guided by old customs and mountain wisdom. Their lives are simple but rich in history, in hospitality, and in strength. At the edge of the sky, where the earth lifts itself into its highest form, lies a place both humble and legendary, Mount Everest Base Camp. Surrounded by snow, silence, and stone, it is a gateway to the top of the world. Set deep within the Himalayas, this base camp is more than just a stop along a trail. It is a dream that many have followed. The journey begins in the lowlands of Nepal and rises steadily through Sherpa villages, ancient monasteries, and forests filled with pine and rhododendron. As the path climbs higher, the air grows thin and the silence deepens. Prayer flags stretch across mountain ridges, fluttering like colorful whispers in the wind. Yaks move slowly along narrow trails, their bells echoing softly through the valley. Reaching base camp is not about reaching the summit. It is about standing in the shadow of something greater. Towering above, Mount Everest rises like a white flame, majestic, cold, and silent. Clouds drift across its peak, avalanches roar in the distance. Yet in the stillness there is peace. Base camp itself is simple, a collection of tents set on rock and ice. At the foothills of the Margala Hills, where green slopes meet modern symmetry, lies Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. A city unlike any other in the region, it blends order and nature, silence and energy, tradition and vision. Islamabad was designed with care. Its wide avenues, peaceful neighborhoods, and thoughtful spaces offer a sense of calm. Here, the sky feels open, the air is clean, and the rhythm of life is unhurried. Trees line the roads, gardens bloom in quiet corners, and the mountains stand gently in the background, always watching. Faisal Mosque rises like a sculpture of light and stone, grand and serene. Its white peaks echo the form of the mountains behind it, as if nature and architecture are in conversation. Inside, it holds the stillness of prayer and the breath of thousands. But Islamabad is more than its landmarks. It is a meeting place of people and ideas. From the quiet halls of the National Library to the colorful stalls of local bazaars, from modern galleries to ancient ruins in nearby Taxila. Every part of the city tells a different story. On the southeastern edge of Sri Lanka, where jungle meets the sea, Yala National Park stretches out like a living canvas, wild, ancient, and endlessly alive. This is a place where nature writes its own story, with every tree, every footprint, and every sound carried on the wind. Yala is Sri Lanka's most famous wildlife sanctuary. But it is more than a park. It is a realm where leopards move like shadows through tall grasses, and elephants walk slowly through sun-drenched clearings, their footsteps soft on the earth. The land here is diverse. Dry forests, open plains, wetlands, rocky outcrops, and salt-kissed coastline. The changing terrain supports a great variety of life. Spotted deer graze in silence. Crocodiles rest still beside watering holes. Colorful peacocks spread their feathers in sudden bursts of color and motion. Leopards are the quiet rulers of this land. Yala holds one of the highest concentrations of these elusive cats anywhere in the world. To see one, even for a moment, is to feel the raw magic of the wild. But it is not only about the big and bold. Nestled in a quiet Himalayan valley, surrounded by pine-covered hills and flowing rivers, Thimphu stands as the heart of Bhutan, a city where ancient wisdom and modern life walk gently side by side. Thimphu is not like other capitals. There are no towering skyscrapers, no rushing crowds. Instead, there are prayer wheels turning beside busy streets, monks in crimson robes walking past digital billboards, and the soft rhythm of daily life guided by a deeper sense of balance. This is the only capital city in the world without traffic lights. At its central crossroads, a white-gloved officer directs cars with graceful, almost meditative motions, a symbol of Bhutan's unique approach to progress. Dzongs and monasteries rise from the hills like guardians of the land. The Grand Tashichu Dzong, with its white walls and golden roofs, serves both as a fortress and a seat of government. Inside its courtyards, the echoes of tradition still linger in every step. The Thimphu is also a center of art and thought. At the Folk Heritage Museum, history lives in the details of everyday objects. High in the mountains of northern Pakistan, wrapped in silence and snow, lies a lake that feels more like a dream than a place. Lake Saif al-Malook. Surrounded by towering peaks and ancient legends, it is a mirror of both the sky above and the stories whispered through time. The journey to the lake winds through the Kagan Valley, following rivers and forests, until suddenly the world opens, and there it is. A a vast stretch of turquoise water, calm and deep, resting beneath the mighty Malook, the queen of mountains. The water is cold, pure, and clear. It reflects the snow-covered ridges like a painting come to life. Clouds float low, their shadows drifting across the surface. In summer, wildflowers bloom along the shores. In winter, the lake sleeps under a blanket of ice. But it is not just the beauty that draws people here. It is the story. The lake is named after Prince Saif or Malook, a figure from folklore who is said to have fallen in love with a fairy princess at this very spot. It is a tale of longing, courage, and the mystical power of love, a legend that lives on in the wind, the water, and the quiet. In the heart of Kashmir, where rivers sing and pine trees rise like quiet guardians, lies Pahalgam, a valley of soft winds, clear water, and timeless grace. Set among the mighty Himalayas, this mountain town offers not only breathtaking beauty, but also a deep sense of stillness. Pahalgam means the village of shepherds. Even today, the name fits. Rolling green meadows stretch beneath snow-dusted peaks, and mountain paths wind through forests that echo with the bells of grazing sheep and the laughter of passing children. The Lidar River flows through the valley, fast, bright, and full of life. Its waters, fed by glaciers, dance over smooth stones and carve a song into the land. Along its banks, wildflowers bloom and locals sit in quiet reflection, watching the current carry time gently forward. In spring and summer, the valley is dressed in green. In autumn, it turns gold and crimson. In winter, a blanket of snow brings a silence that is almost sacred. Each season carries its own mood, its own rhythm, its own voice. But Pahalgam is not just a place of nature. It is part of the journey for pilgrims making their way to the sacred Amarnath cave. Tucked in the Kathmandu Valley of Nepal, Bhaktapur stands as a city of brick and memory, where every courtyard, temple, and narrow lane holds the quiet breath of centuries. Known as the city of devotees, Bhaktapur is not frozen in time but alive within it. Here, the past does not sleep behind glass, it walks the streets. It turns the potter's wheel, it shapes wood and carves stone. From the red brick walls to the finely detailed windows, every part of Bhaktapur speaks the language of craftsmanship and devotion. Durbar Square lies at the heart, a place of sacred rhythm and royal echo. Pagoda temples rise in graceful tiers. Statues guard ancient gates. In the stillness of early morning, the stone glows with golden light, and the past feels near enough to touch. Bhaktapur is not just architecture, it is ritual, it is the soft swirl of incense. The sound of bells, the quiet footsteps of pilgrims. Festivals here are not performances, they are lived expressions of belief. The city breathes with music, with color, with spirit. In the heart of Rajasthan, where desert dreams meet shimmering waters, Udaipur rises like a painted story, soft, regal, and full of light. Known as the City of Lakes, Udaipur holds within its walls a reflection of royalty, of art, and of stillness that speaks. Set against the backdrop of the Aravalli Hills, the city spreads along the banks of Lake Pichola. The water glows with morning gold and evening silver, mirroring palaces that seem to float like mirages on its surface. Here, time moves gently, and every view feels like a memory. White marble palaces rise from the lake like poetry in stone. The Lake Palace, once a royal retreat, now rests quietly on an island, its walls washed by wind and water. City Palace towers nearby, a blend of balconies, courtyards, and arches, each step carrying echoes of the Mewar dynasty. But Udaipur is more than monuments. It is a mood, a place where history flows through the air like a melody. Narrow lanes curve past old havelis, vibrant markets, and hidden temples. The scent of jasmine drifts on the breeze. In the heart of Rajasthan, where ancient ruins lie hidden among tangled trees and golden grasses, Ranthambore National Park unfolds like a story from another time, a story written in claw marks, paw prints, and the silent gaze of the wild. Ranthambore is more than a forest. It is a world where nature and history live side by side. Where the deep stillness of the jungle surrounds the broken walls of a forgotten kingdom. And where, among the shadows of banyan trees, the tiger still walks as king. The park is one of India's most celebrated tiger reserves, a sanctuary for the Royal Bengal tiger. Here, the great cats roam freely across dry forests, steep cliffs, and quiet lakes. To see one is rare, to feel its presence, even unseen, is unforgettable. Every corner of Ranthambore holds life. Spotted deer move through tall grass. Langurs leap across branches. Peacocks call from open clearings, their feathers flashing in the sun. Crocodiles lie still beside ancient stone steps, half in water, half in myth. Rising above it all is the Ranthambore Fort, a stronghold of stone that has watched over the land for centuries. High in the northern mountains of India, where cedar forests breathe and rivers whisper through the valleys, Manali rests like a peaceful thought held in the heart of Himachal Pradesh. It is a place where snow and sunlight meet, where ancient trails and youthful spirit walk the same winding roads. Manali is framed by the towering peaks of the Himalayas. Above, the sky stretches clear and endless. Below, the Bees River flows with strength and softness, shaping the valley, feeding the land, and carrying with it the voice of the mountains. Each season brings a new face to Manali. In spring, apple blossoms bloom across the orchards. In summer, green meadows unfold like woven carpets beneath the open sky. Autumn colors the leaves with gold and rust, and in winter, snow wraps the town in stillness like a whispered lullaby. But beauty here is not just in the landscape. It lives in the wooden temples carved by hand, in the hot springs that rise warm from the earth, and in the stories told beside quiet fires. The Hidimba Temple stands among tall deodar trees, a place of devotion and myth, where the forest itself seems to lean in close. Manali draws travelers and dreamers. Perched among the hills of northern Pakistan, wrapped in pine forests and morning mist, Murree rests like a timeless postcard, quiet, cool, and full of memory. Just a few hours from the plains, yet a world apart in mood and air, this mountain town has long been a place where hearts go to breathe. Murree was once built as a summer retreat during colonial times, a place to escape the heat below. But over the years, it has become much more, a beloved destination for families, wanderers, and dreamers drawn by its calm and its clouds. Winding roads curve through thick woods. The scent of pine fills the air. Tall trees stretch toward the sky, and every turn reveals a new view of rolling valleys, snow-tipped peaks in the distance, and rooftops peeking through the trees like scattered thoughts. Mall Road is the heart of the town, alive with life, yet somehow unhurried. Small shops line the path, offering warm chai, woolen shawls, and sweet memories. People walk slowly here, wrapped in coats and conversation, as the fog curls softly around streetlights. Above it all, Pindi Point and Kashmir Point open to sweeping views. There are train rides that carry you from one place to another, and then there are journeys that move through the heart. The ride from Ella to Kandy in Sri Lanka is one of those rare experiences, a slow unfolding of beauty, moment by moment, mile by mile. The train pulls out of Ella with a gentle rhythm, winding through hills thick with tea plantations, mist-covered forests, and quiet villages where time drifts softly. Painted blue against a sea of green, the train itself becomes part of the landscape, graceful, timeless, and free. As it climbs higher into the highlands, each bend offers something new. Rows of tea pickers move gently through the fields, their hands and baskets full of leaves. Children wave from small homes perched on hillsides. Waterfalls tumble from cliffs, white against the deep green. The open windows bring in more than just cool mountain air. They carry the scent of wet earth, wildflowers, and wood smoke from distant kitchens. The sound of the tracks below blends with birdsong and the occasional distant thunder, creating a rhythm both natural and nostalgic. There is no need to rush. Far in the remote northwest of Nepal, beyond the busy trails and the known paths, lies a lake so quiet, so untouched, it feels like a secret kept by the mountains. This is Rara Lake, the largest in Nepal, yet one of its most hidden treasures. At an altitude of nearly 10,000 feet, Rara rests like a blue jewel cradled among alpine forests and snow-capped peaks. Its waters are clear, deep, and calm, reflecting the sky with such purity that the line between earth and heaven begins to blur. The journey to Rara is not easy. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to go where few have gone. But for those who make the journey, the reward is something beyond beauty. It is stillness, vastness, and something quietly sacred. Pine forests surround the lake, filled with the soft sounds of wind and birdsong. Wildflowers bloom along the shores. Snow leopards, red pandas, and Himalayan black bears roam the distant wilderness. The world here is alive, but never loud. In the early morning, mist floats across the water like breath. By afternoon, the lake shines with a shade of blue that seems to exist nowhere else. In the far southeast of Bangladesh, where the land rises into mist-covered hills and the sky feels closer than ever, lies Bandarban, a place where nature, culture, and silence come together in rare harmony. This is where the Chittagong Hill tracks begin to breathe, quietly and deeply. Bandarban is unlike anywhere else in the country. Here, deep green valleys are stitched with rivers, bamboo forests, and winding footpaths that lead to quiet villages hidden among the hills. Life moves gently, the air is cooler, the land is vast and filled with meaning. Mountains like Nilgiri, Nilachal, and Thanchi rise gently above the clouds, offering views that stretch beyond sight. From these heights, the world below looks untouched, rolling hills like waves frozen in time, and rivers carving silver threads through the earth. The Sangor River flows quietly through the region, the lifeblood of Bandarban. Small wooden boats drift across its calm surface. Children play along its banks. The river, like the land, gives and flows without noise or pride. Bandarban is also a place of cultural depth. Tucked away in the northeastern folds of India, surrounded by pine-covered hills and clouds that seem close enough to touch, lies Ziro Valley, a place untouched by time, where nature whispers and tradition walks quietly beside it. Located in Arunachal Pradesh, Ziro is not loud in its beauty. It does not seek attention. Its charm lies in its softness, the rolling green fields, the crisp mountain air, the stillness that lingers like morning mist over rice paddies. At the heart of this valley lives the Apatani tribe, known not only for their deep connection to the land, but for the wisdom they carry through generations. Their sustainable farming, their bamboo homes, and their way of living in quiet harmony with nature are stories written in soil, not in books. The landscape itself feels like a painting in motion. Terraced fields stretch into the distance, stitched together by narrow paths and flowing streams. Tall pines frame the valley, and the wind moves through them like a song that's always been there. As the day unfolds, Ziro changes color, golden in the morning, emerald in the noon light, and blue-gray by dusk. The air smells of earth, firewood, and wildflowers. In the rugged heart of northern Pakistan, where the Karakoram Mountains rise sharp and eternal, there lies a lake born not from time, but from tragedy. Attabad Lake is a place where beauty and sorrow flow together, quiet and deep, like the water itself. Formed in the year 2010 by a massive landslide, the lake rose suddenly, swallowing villages, roads, and memories. What was once disaster has since become one of the most breathtaking sights in the region, a turquoise jewel set among towering cliffs and silent stone. The waters stretch wide, and still, their impossible blue colored by glacial minerals and mountain light. Around the lake, the jagged peaks of Hunza stand tall, snow-dusted, wind-shaped, and watching over this place like guardians of both pain and peace. Boats glide across the surface slowly, their movement gentle and thoughtful. The silence is powerful here, broken only by the soft hum of an engine or the echo of a distant bird. Travelers come not just to see but to feel the beauty, the depth, and the strange calm that lives here. High in the central highlands of Sri Lanka, where clouds hang low and tea fields stretch across rolling hills, lies Nuwara Eliya, a town wrapped in mist, memory, and the scent of rain-soaked earth. Known as Little England, it is a place where time seems to walk with gentler footsteps. The air here is cool and crisp, unlike the tropical warmth of the island below. Morning dew clings to every leaf, and fog drifts through gardens and valleys like an old poem coming to life. Tea plantations roll across the hills in perfect green waves, tended by quiet hands that have passed down their craft for generations. Women in bright saris move among the rows, baskets on their backs, gathering the leaves that will become the heart of Ceylon tea. Nuwara Eliya carries the charm of a distant time. Colonial cottages with rose gardens, stone churches, and tidy hedgerows reflect a legacy left behind. Not grand but subtle, still breathing in the town's slow rhythm. Horse races, golf courses, and lakeside strolls add to the old world grace. Lake Gregory mirrors the sky and the hills, its calm waters holding both stillness and reflection. At the very edge of India, where the road ends and the silence begins, lies Chitkul, the last inhabited village before the border with Tibet. Hidden deep within the Ziro Valley of Himachal Pradesh, Chitkul is not just remote. It feels sacred, quiet, and beautifully forgotten by time. Surrounded by snow-capped peaks and alpine forests, Chitkul rests along the banks of the Baspa River, its waters pure, cold, and crystal clear. The wind carries the scent of pine and stone. The sky above is wide and untouched, stretching far over wooden homes and fields of barley. Here, life moves slowly. Wooden houses with slate roofs sit quietly beneath the mountains. Prayer flags flutter in the breeze, smoke curls gently from chimneys, and the songs of the river blend with the rustle of trees. The people of Chitkul, mostly from the Kinori community, live in harmony with the land. Their culture is steeped in tradition, simple, strong, and rooted in the rhythms of nature. Winters are long and harsh, but the warmth of the village runs deep, shaped by generations of resilience. In the heart of southern India, scattered across a land of boulders and dust, lies a place where time still echoes through stone. Hampi, once the mighty capital of a forgotten empire, now sleeps under the open sky, cradled by history, silence, and wind. The landscape is like no other. Massive rocks balance on each other in impossible shapes, rising from golden earth like sculptures placed by ancient hands. Between them lie the ruins, broken walls, temple pillars, market streets, and arches that whisper stories of a world that once was. Centuries ago, this was Vijayanagara, a city of power, poetry, and immense beauty. At its height, it was one of the richest cities on earth. Today, what remains are not just ruins, but reminders of art, of faith, and of human dreams carved in stone. The Virupaksha temple still stands tall, its gopuram rising proudly above the riverbank. Pilgrims walk barefoot on warm stone, their prayers carried by the rustling wind. Monkeys leap across rooftops, the bells ring softly in the distance. Perched high on a ridge in central Nepal, where the hills roll into mist and the sky meets the Himalayas in quiet stillness, lies Bandipur, a town untouched by noise, wrapped in history, and resting in the soft cradle of time. Bandipur is not loud in its beauty. It does not rise with grandeur or rush with modern life. Instead, it welcomes with stillness, narrow cobbled streets, warm wooden homes, and a breeze that carries the scent of old stone, blooming flowers, and distant pine. Once a bustling stop on the trade route between India and Tibet, Bandipur still holds echoes of its past, in the carved Nuwara windows, the terraced houses, the temples tucked into quiet corners. Yet here, tradition is not something remembered, it is something lived. Morning arrives slowly, the sun stretches across the rooftops, casting gold over the hills. Farmers walk along stone paths, children laugh as they run to school. The rhythm is steady, the pace soft, as if the town itself has agreed to move gently through time. From the edge of the ridge, the world opens wide. On clear days, the peaks of the Annapurna and Dholagiri shine like distant guardians, white, silent, and eternal. In the heart of southern Punjab, where the desert heat meets the perfume of roses and dust clings softly to history, stands Multan, one of the oldest living cities in the world. A place of saints, of stories, of shrines glowing in the golden haze of centuries. Known as the City of Saints, Multan breathes with spiritual rhythm. Its very soil seems steeped in prayer. The domes of ancient Sufi shrines rise across the skyline, not in pride but in peace. Their colors faded, their silence deep, their presence eternal. The shrine of Shah Rukn Alam stands like a crown over the city, its red brick, blue tile, and sacred air holding the spirit of a man whose teachings still echo in hearts today. Pilgrims come barefoot, pigeons circle the dome, the air is thick with devotion and the scent of incense. But Multan is not only a city of the spirit, it is a city of color. The bazaars are a living mosaic. Traders call out under canopies of fabric, spices, blue pottery, embroidered textiles, and hand-carved wood tell stories with every texture and shade. The sun here is fierce, the summers long. Carved into the bones of the earth, winding through some of the highest and harshest terrain on the planet, the Karakoram Highway is not just a road. It is a monument to human will, a pathway where mountains, glaciers, and dreams collide. Often called the eighth wonder of the world, the Karakoram Highway stretches from the heart of Pakistan to the borders of China, crossing deep valleys, roaring rivers, and towering peaks. It climbs and twists through the Karakoram mountain range, home to some of the tallest summits on Earth. Built over decades by hands that braved landslides, avalanches, and impossible odds, the highway is more than engineering. It is endurance. It is sacrifice. Many lives were lost in its making, yet what remains is a living connection between worlds. The journey begins in the plains, but soon the road rises. The air grows thin. The landscape transforms. Villages cling to cliffsides. Suspension bridges sway over turquoise rivers. Prayer flags flutter near ancient stones. The mountains rise higher with every mile, silent, watching, eternal. Along the way lies Hunza, with its fertile valleys and glacier-fed streams. Then comes Pasu, where cathedral-like peaks pierce the sky.